time is going to work. And we're live. Where this is, my name is Skeptical Spectrum. I'm the son or daughter of Kathy and Jane Spectrum. This person does not want a nickname, so this is Karen.
But I'm a Karen who cares.
A Karen who cares. So Karen, like
Today I'm going to tell you what I care about.
that's right. So gun in a bun.
Okay, what I care about is my own safety.
Okay,
And
that's
so
interesting.
I was at Aldi's and I was shopping,
Okay.
and I'm like sitting there thinking, there's this nice, sweet little man buying watermelons, and he's going to grab these watermelons.
Oh, I'm acting like I haven't heard it before. Go ahead.
And so I'm thinking, okay, I can like go next to him a little bit to reach over here and get the watermelons. And then I stand back because lo and behold, what did I see? The guy's bending over to get his watermelons. And no, I didn't see any buns. What I
No
saw,
crack.
no crack there. What I saw was that little old man was packing.
What was he packing?
He
Like
was packing
little
it.
tiny pistol or oh,
No, it was sticking out like 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 that. Like it was
like it was through his shirt?
yeah, like underneath
Did you
his
actually
it
see
was
it?
underneath his shirt. Well, I didn't see it, but I'm like sitting here going, it was a gun
But
because
so you saw the bulge and it had something
it was
told you it's
shaped,
def.
like a gun is shaped, right?
Yeah, tons of people conceal other stuff in their trunks. Like, no, I'm just kidding.
What would
Okay,
it be? That like an
I'm kidding.
L-shaped thing.
But you're really okay. So the dude had a
Okay,
gun, pistol,
okay.
kind
So
of deal.
the thing, what's going through my mind is I am not going to get this guy pissed off about, you know, scooting next to him and taking the watermelon he wants. And
It's
then I'm
understandable.
thinking, is this locked and loaded? Is it loaded? Does this guy have any training?
Mm-hmm.
Did he just
Mm-hmm.
buy this gun yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
Does he have a permit?
Mm-hmm.
I will never know.
Mm-mm.
Why?
Mm.
Because this
Uh,
is
what?
Florida.
Oh, so that means you're scared to talk to him and say, "Hey, is that loaded? Is that a pistol?" Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, well,
Oh,
not
th-
about just asking, but I don't want to make any assumptions because I want to live.
so okay, you're worried he would shoot you,
Yeah.
which is kind of a more legitimate fear than we used to have. It used to only be postal workers we need to be afraid of. Now it's everybody.
It could be the little guy in front of you buying a watermelon.
So, well, what's the moral of this story?
The moral of this story is we need gun control.
Okay, I agree.
And I, as just a regular person, and I'm not going to publicly say whether I pack or not because I don't want anyone to know in this state. It's not safe because everyone is probably packing. And any,
Anyone
anyone
could be. Yeah,
could,
yeah.
whether they have any training, any responsibility. It's easy to get a gun, easy to use a gun, and it's just not safe.
He's more likely to injure, himself or someone, or injure or kill himself before he gets to kill somebody else,
Yeah, he could
probably.
have bent over and leaned on his trigger
Ooh,
and shot my foot
ooh,
off.
or his own leg into pieces,
And that would have been a bloody mess.
or
So
his butt. They call him Two Holes Johnson. No, no, I said Johnson. That's three holes. Guns are hilarious.
well, so
Gun
what are we
accidents are
gonna
just
do?
brilliant.
What are we gonna do with this? It's just
You,
anybody could be packing. Little old grandma on the street. Funny, no more Girl Scouts are gonna help or Boy Scouts are gonna help old people across the street because they're gonna be afraid that they're packing.
yeah, and I believe that this is a form of counterintelligence because people are going counter to what their intelligence would tell them to do. I just made that up right now while you were talking.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is it's unlikely you'll ever need a gun. Most people just go through whole lives without guns and nothing happens to them that would have been prevented by a gun. People who get guns, things happen that would have been prevented by them not having a gun. And the stats just keep consistently saying that. Although, are you totally against gun ownership?
No.
Uh-huh. You would like him to have some skills.
Yeah, I
You'd
like
like
to
him to.
know that when the guy in front of me and buying watermelons is packing, that he has a license.
And you want there to be something behind that license, I'm guessing, like
Yeah,
training,
like
like
background checks.
knowledge, skills, and abilities, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, and a
this
background
could
check.
be
Yeah.
any retarded person
Whoa,
walking.
now, wow. I got to cut that out. That's gonna be. I mean, you're.
Anybody, anybody's, any person who is stupid.
It's okay to say idiot nowadays. I think. Oh, stupid is okay too. Yeah.
Well, retarded is, I mean, being
That's
slow.
considered a slur nowadays. Really?
Okay.
Okay, so I'm that guy who technically looks at the book of slurs on a regular basis. But anyway, so you would say if he had intellectual problems, that's a big issue, or if he had extreme adrenaline production that makes him constantly on edge.
Yeah. What if I accidentally stepped on his toe?
Hmm.
And,
Hmm.
what if my shopping cart went over his foot?
Ooh, yeah, yeah.
I'd be dead.
What if he dropped the watermelon? Who would he shoot? That's the question. What if he shoots
Yeah.
the watermelon? That's just worse. It's just making his own situation worse. But anyway, so yeah, okay. What other opinions do you have on this? Like, do you think that um, okay, do you think that concealed carry should mean I can carry my concealed weapon, but I have to tell the owner of the building I'm walking into, I have to claim my pistol. I have to tell them I have a pistol.
Yeah.
Or
You know what they should do? They should have an app. So anybody who has a gun
mhm.
has to sign up for an app. And then if you are afraid of people with guns, you can have an app that shows where people are walking that have guns and you can avoid them.
Oh my gosh, they're gonna do to stores what they did to freaking schools. They're gonna have, detectors at the doors,
Yeah,
and they have a right to kick
well,
somebody out
in
who's.
China, everyone has an app and and a
Oh, yeah, they monitor you.
personality
They monitor you, yeah,
score. Why
yeah.
don't you have a gun score? Like if anybody, why should I have to go through a store and be worried that somebody might shoot my brains out?
Yeah, I don't think you should have to worry about that. You know what they say, which I think is not really accurate, when they make guns illegal or when they criminalize guns, only criminals will have guns. But there you become more likely to commit a larger violent offense if you have a gun versus if you don't. So you can actually prevent some levels of crime by people not having a gun. But yeah, if we wanted to say that we were pro gun or pro gun rights, we could say that we'd want them to be well trained. It's good for everybody. We
Yeah.
want them to be checked out. It's good for everybody. I mean, like people in general should get checked out anyway. A lot of people, yeah, like you know how people go to the doctor on a regular.
Yeah.
Well, I think more people are going to mental health counselors on a regular,
Yeah.
and psychiatrists and psychologists and therapists. So yeah, yeah, absolutely. So I mean, but I'm not saying forced medical care, but come on now. In the Marines, they didn't let us carry around weapons on base. The only time you carried them, yours or theirs, was when you were going to go to the range for training or for your own fun, and you had to check it out of the what I used to call that stuff. Come on, I used to know these terms. I'm just very sick and tired today, like sick, literally. The armory. Come on, Jim, you knew that.
Yeah. And my cousins, they lived on a farm. And you needed to have a gun to shoot a rattlesnake now and then.
That's
Or
right, right, exactly.
to shoot a fox getting into the chicken house. Okay,
Hmm.
that's acceptable.
Yeah.
But it's not acceptable to be ready, locked and loaded to kill somebody for getting in the way in the
No, right,
grocery
right,
store.
right. And what I don't like is that people are that afraid of unarmed people doing something bad.
Yeah, I mean, do I look like the kind of person that would like threaten your life by buying watermelons?
Ooh. Okay.
I'm
Anyway,
not.
that they think that having a bullet will stop another bullet. Shooting a bullet will stop another, but it will not do. And so if they could be reassured that they have their gun rights, but there are standards and regulations and principles and training and all that, I think people can become safe pistol carriers. There are some people that are not safe with a pistol. Some people, like you mentioned,
Like me, I would be a basket case
"Ooh,
holding a rifle, and I would probably miss and hit something I didn't want to hit, and then somebody would die.
you could be trained." I mean, you could be trained to
Oh,
hold
no, now
pistols
they
are the
know.
hardest, but a rifle is the easiest to hit
Now
a
they
target.
know I don't care.
What?
Now they know.
Have you done any shooting?
No,
Oh, well, then you don't know how good you could be.
I don't wanna know.
Well, okay, everybody's got their preference,
I
and
mean,
I'm not
do I have the right to not carry a weapon in this state?
right. Do you in a sense, I would say, do you have a right to feel safe not carrying a weapon in the state? You
Yeah,
know, like we have a friend that said, "Wait, if anything happens, I've got this little pistol in my."
yeah.
People way overestimate how much it's going to help them. Yeah. I mean, we've got violent people who are just violent because they are off the charts and they'll come at you because they think you have a gun. Because that's what there's this old phrase, suicide by cop. Some people just want to, they don't want to. They're highly strung and they have a lot of problems. And they will just be aggressive no matter what. And by the time you're done wrestling with that guy, you've got your head bashed into the cement. Now, I do understand that that even might be a case for many people owning guns. I'm telling you, if you're wrestling with somebody and he's on top of you, it's going to be dangerous if somebody fires a gun in your direction. So, eh, safety skills, like, what's interesting? What was getting really popular? Martial arts for self defense, for like, if somebody's attacking you and you're
Mhm.
alone or whatever. They tell you all the ways to get more attention and they tell you ways to get away from the person.
Yeah.
And some places tell you how to disable them at least temporarily or her.
Maybe when I go shopping next, I should be wearing full body armor.
You should work on your chops. You should be like this, like that. You know what? They're gonna prevent me. They're coming for our arms.
How's that gonna do a gun?
This is how's,
That's
how's, how's what gonna do?
how's that gonna be anything,
I didn't
to
say.
do?
No, I was saying use this instead of a gun. I
Oh,
sort of changed the subject. There's all kinds of martial arts skills that people can learn,
but you know that
and I'm not saying that martial arts will help all the time. I'm just saying you're not going to accidentally martial art your son in the head and kill him,
you know that
but
Indiana
you will
Jones.
accidentally shoot your kid in the head
You know that
if you have a gun.
Indiana Jones
I mean, 100% of the time too. Oh, Indiana Jones,
and he
where
that guy comes with the knives and he goes pow,
mhm.
and the guy dies.
So that proves the point that you should have a pistol.
Right, but there must be a counter argument to
Counter
like you
argument.
could. What if there must be things that you could physically do?
The one counter argument to that is you can't just pick up a gun and shoot like that and expect to hit your target. 20, 25 yards away, you're going to have some trouble unless you're highly trained and you're in a very good state of mind when you do it, or your training just
So the
kicks in.
moment you see a gun, run.
Yeah, I mean that's the
So and
wisest thing
that's
to
what I
do.
did. I moved away from the watermelon guy.
There's cover. You find cover that will block the bullet, or cover that will block their vision of you. And what that means is you get behind something. And distance is a form of cover. But the best, you know what stops bullets better than any old cinder block?
What?
Sand. That's why they use
So you should
sandbags.
carry a handful
Yeah.
of sand in your purse.
We had a dude tell us he had us he did it through water, and then he did it through concrete blocks and everything like that. And I forgot what else he did it through, but sand stops it.
So how
So
much
you
sand?
should you should carry some sand around. I mean, I gotta do some
How much?
I gotta do some calculations. Here, let me do some calculations.
Well, you just
A
throw
big
sand in.
old bunch. You're gonna be
Oh,
strong by the time you die.
so maybe just a handful of sand in your purse. You just throw it at their
Yeah,
face.
what I would do is I would get like a bag of sand, and I'd hold it out, and I'd say, "Which way you aiming? Which way you aiming? Which way you aiming?" Like that. Everybody.
I think
So,
you're better off to just
but
run.
I'm going to say that is ridiculous, and I think it is as ridiculous to think that a gun will help you most of the time. So if you're that sandbag joke shows the same thing with a gun.
Well, that's what
It's
they
not
they have the
reliable.
active shooter drills in the schools here, and what they do is they teach the children to just throw things at the shooter.
Mhm. Yeah,
Because that
get the shooter, everybody throwing at the same
so
time,
if
and
I
he's got
could
to
throw
deal
a
with that.
watermelon at that guy,
That that's true. That's what
he'd
I
probably
would
get me thrown out of
see.
all these
I would
stuff.
have picked a fight with him just so you'd have an excuse to throw that watermelon. You know, some people are running around with an excuse to fire their gun. Karen's different. She
Because
she
I'm a
wants to
Karen who cares.
she wants and she but she wants to manufacture and either throw water with somebody. We can do that together. All right.
Okay, that's a good place to stop.
Love y'all. That's Karen. I'm skeptical.
I'm a Karen who cares.
She's a Karen who cares, carrying Karen. Let's see how long we have to talk